building an entire city in The Sims 4 on this penthouse lot overlooking San Myshuno, and it's going to be inspired by K-pop demon hunters. I want this city to have everything. I want to include a tower for Huntrix, aka the demon fighting K-pop girl group. We'll have rooms there for each of the 3 girls, but I also want to include a recording studio, a bathhouse, a gym, a restaurant, gaming cafe, fan meetup spot. Like, I want to include it all. And I also want to include a tower for the Saja boys, the demon disguised K-pop boy group, of course. So it's gonna be a big one today. I'm gonna try and include all of this in one part. But before we get started, we have a quick word from our sponsor. You guys may or may not have noticed that I've been wearing this necklace in every video for the past month. I love it. It has become one of my daily go-to necklaces, and it was created by today's sponsor, which is Holzkern. Holzkern is a watch and jewelry brand for both men and women, and my favorite part is that all of their products are made from natural materials. For example, this necklace is made from nacre and gold. I feel like this combo is so pretty, and plus they sent me these adorable heart earrings to show, along with this really cool matching ring. I've been getting compliments on these a lot. Like the other day, my sister complimented my necklace, so I think I want to get her a matching one for Christmas. I hope she doesn't see this. But their jewelry already comes in this beautiful green box, and there's a red gift pouch for watches, so it already looks really pretty as a gift. And then we can match. How cute would that be? Plus, I would feel really confident gifting this. Like, all of their products are high quality, which is super important to me, especially when it comes to watches. Like, this is another one I have been wearing out all the time. You don't want to watch that's going to die on you right away. You want to rely on your products. That's why every Holzkern product comes with a 2-year guarantee. They are also responsible and ethical with their production, since all of their products are manufactured in small quantities. And they even offer free worldwide shipping from Vienna. Plus, if you're in the US, they've even covered the customs fees for you. Your order shows up in 3 to 5 business days, and all orders placed by December 19th are guaranteed to be here by Christmas Day. So you can click on the link in the description below or the pinned comment and use code sydneymacoretta checkout to get an exclusive 15% off all purchases site-wide for the holiday season. Thanks again to Holzkern for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into it. Okay, let's start out by building the Huntrix Tower. This is where the girls live. It's a very unique shape, very modern looking. So let's start off with our shell, and I want to build this sort of near the edge. Part of the reason why I picked this lot in the first place is I want this tower to look like part of the entire building. There are rounded glass walls on the side, and I'm gonna move this over to the edge. We're gonna go 4 floors up, so I think I can just copy and paste this first floor. And you know what? Let's do one more floor exactly like this. So 3 floors up, but then the 4th floor is where it might get a little weird. I'm gonna keep the rounded shape all the way up like this, but then to the side, we're gonna have to add a gabled roof piece. I'm gonna pull that all the way over, and then using Shift-C on my keyboard, we're gonna curve this out. It's gonna be very steep. It kind of goes up like that. Then I'm gonna take another roof piece and we're gonna curve that over, bring in the adjusters, and I'm gonna try and meet it at that shape. Then we'll bring this across, and we're gonna have to play around here until we get the shape that we want. I might have to bring in my adjusters here, but this is how our roofing is going to look like for now. Then I also want to go in and add some rounded balcony spaces, so we'll just pull those over. I'm going to use a glass fence from Get Famous for those, and the balconies are going to be on pretty much every floor going up. And then I do want to have a rooftop area up here, so I am going to include a glass fence at the top as well. I'm adding in some columns. I'm also adding in some trim, and then we have one more sloped roof we have to take care of. There's this big triangular shaped detail on the tower. I'm gonna again take a gabled roof piece. We're gonna bring that in just so it's sitting here on this ledge, and I'm gonna pull that up as far as it will go. I'll bring in the adjusters, and then same thing, I'm just gonna slope this a tiny bit. I'll kind of hide the edge underneath this trim. Okay, there we go. And then we can add some different wallpaper on there, try and change it up. Over here, this is where that glass wall update is going to shine. I can't tell you how satisfying this is. It used to be so difficult putting windows on rounded walls in The Sims 4, but now it's so easy. I'm gonna add these along the side too, and already that has transformed our tower. Look at that. For the rest of it, I'm gonna use this gray metal from Eco Lifestyle, but then for this part, I'm gonna use this base game wallpaper. We obviously need the Huntrix logo on here somewhere, so to try and mimic that, I'm gonna use this neon sticker from Lovestruck. I like using these because at night they glow, and then maybe underneath we can size this up as well. It's was interesting too because obviously this movie is set in South Korea and they actually used real life places in Korea as inspiration. Like for example, this Huntrix Tower was actually inspired by the Lotte World Tower in Seoul, Korea, and they feature other real life locations that I will mention as we go as well. Our tower is looking pretty good. I'm just gonna go in and add these strip lights from Spa Day pretty much all over. I want this whole city to really glow up here at night. I'm also gonna start adding some flooring all over the whole thing just so I can start to carve out some pathways and also so I can get a little bit of landscaping going as well. I'm adding a side door over here and I'll change this flooring to grass so that I can add some trees or something like that. Alright, so far this is our Huntrix inspired tower. It looks so cool up here. I can't wait to see this whole city come to life. I started adding some pink trees. Also, I just added a little bit of lighting going over to the side. I added these lights from Dine Out on the balconies as well. And I'm gonna furnish those balconies once we do the interior. So let's go inside and I'll show you what I've got going on for my floor plan. So bottom floor, this is where I'm thinking we add some fun rooms or some businesses. We could do a gaming cafe here to the left, a bathroom right here, and then I'm thinking this is where we do the recording studio. This is just gonna be a main room. The elevator is right there. Second floor is where we're gonna start to have some bedrooms. I'm thinking this will be the bedroom for Mira, this will be the bedroom for Zoey. Each of them will have their own ensuite bathroom. And then coming up to the third floor, this is going to be Rumi's room. It's pretty much gonna take up the entire floor, and this is where we'll recreate that iconic lounge we see in the movie. But first, I'm thinking gaming cafe. I was thinking this could be used as a shared public space since we have the door right here. It would be really easy to just come in and set this room to public, or it could just be a personal gaming room for the girls. But regardless, each of these desks will be modeled after one of the girls. And one problem I can already foresee is The Sims 4 has something against the color purple. It's really difficult to find purple items in this game, but we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it work. Luckily, we do have a nice purple computer. That one can be for Rumi, then we can use this one for Mira, and then there's a blue in the same one for Zoey. I want to add big screens here in the middle. I personally love playing video games with a movie on in the background. That's exactly how I watched this movie. I'm a big fan of having something on in the background for pretty much everything actually, now that I think about it. So TV's there. I'm gonna add some glowing columns in here. And then for the cafe idea, I also really wanted to have vending machines. This will be especially helpful because the kitchen is gonna be all the way up on the fourth floor. So if we add some of these snack machines, then you wouldn't have to go all the way up. And I'm also just gonna add these ones because they look pretty. I've never been to a gaming cafe, but I feel like that would be such a vibe. From high school years, I'm also gonna add in some neon lights. I'll add this one in for Moschino. Oh, we do have a lava lamp in each color, so we can add these in, get some neon lights going in here too. These will also change up the color in here. And I'm also gonna add some customized colored rugs under these. Okay, love it so far. Ooh, an item that I was thinking would be perfect for this build is this. The unicorn sword from Get Famous. It kind of reminds me of some of the weapons that they use in the movie. And to finish this room off, I think I'll just add in some posters. So here's how our gaming cafe slash personalized gaming room turned out. I added a little more clutter going on the desks. Like I added some of the water bottles, some controllers and things from the Comfy Gamer Kit. We have some headphones. Over to this side, I did add a beanbag chair along with a little table. There are some laptops there just in case you wanted to bring your own laptop. And of course, we have no shortage in snacks. I need one of these for my office. Like, are you kidding me? Can you imagine? Where do I go about getting a vending machine? One can dream. I don't know. Anyway, let's go do the public bathroom. I've included stalls in here so we could have these fancy toilets. I added doors on both sides too, so it's going to be connecting to the studio and the gaming room just for convenience. I don't think I'm going to add showers in this one. We can just have a sink area right here. I'll add things like paper towel and hand sanitizer. And then since we're not doing showers or baths or anything in here, we could just make it like a refresh spot. Like if you wanted to come here and freshen up, I can add some makeup, anything you might need in between a long gaming sesh or studio sesh. So here's our washroom, cluttered counters. I added an extra mirror over here, and I just added some neon stickers in each of the stalls. All right, let's go over and do the recording studio. I'm excited. I've never built one of these in The Sims. So I think what I'm gonna do is split it down the middle. But in here, right in the center, is where we're gonna have like the spot where you would be recording. I'm gonna add glass walls there. We'll add a door right here. I'll change up the carpet. And then I wanna have a couple chairs facing that room. I feel like whenever you see videos of people in the studio, there's always like an audience and they're always just like hanging out watching. I'm sure they're doing something, but that's what it looks like. But we do have these music mixing stations we can add from Get Famous. And I also want to add a bunch of trophies everywhere, just like a ton of awards. I can add some more like sound equipment over here. We could add an amp, and with a room like this, obviously Sims aren't actually going to be recording anything. So I'll just turn it into a bit of a hangout spot with these beanbag chairs. We can add some cool instruments in here too. We can add some pretty art in here, maybe some extra screens. This is interesting so far, but then on the other side, like I said, the kitchen is going to be all the way up on the 4th floor. So I'm going to add some chairs here. So we'll have like a little dining table, but then we'll also include a mini fridge. And we can also do one counter space for prep, and we can add one of those tabletop ovens on top. Look how cool it looks from the outside. Okay, so here is our recording studio. It's all done. We've got the dining area / small kitchen. Gotta make sure these girls are covered with snacks. We have the actual recording room with the microphones. And then over here we have the studio. This is where we're gonna be making the music. Could also be hanging out, just jamming with some of the instruments. And again, it just looks so cool with those glass walls. I did also just make a front foyer. This is where the elevator is. I also added some mailboxes with a picture of them over top. There's like a little calendar over here with some trophies. And okay, now we're ready to go upstairs and do some bedrooms. So I think we'll start over here with Zoey. Zoey is the youngest of the group. She's cheerful, bubbly, and energetic, and she's the lead rapper. She's mostly seen wearing blue and yellow, so I'm currently trying to find a blue and yellow bed for her. This one could work, or this and we add on some yellow pillows. Yeah, let's do that. I'll raise some of these up from base game, but I also want to add in some stuffed animals for her, like this little chicken from Lovestruck. That is so cute, with like the heart plushie also from Lovestruck. And what about some graffiti for Zoey's room? The Sims 4 does have some cool graffiti in this game, like that's kind of fun from Lovestruck, but this one matches her color scheme, so let's use that from Get Together. We can do like a big fluffy rug under her bed. I have this spot over here which I can't change the wallpaper, so I'm just gonna hide it with a mirror. And this room is big enough that she could totally have a seating area or like a little living room. Maybe I'll have it facing this way so I could add a TV. This decor I'm using is from the Decor to the Max kit, which actually a lot of it does come in her color scheme, which is perfect. We could even add a divider here. We'll add a TV on this wall, and then under that I think I'll add a dresser. And I would love to clutter this part up. Like I want to add a little Fujifilm camera, a gaming console would be fun. I also want to add a couple more like bear stuffies everywhere. These ones are from Nifty Knitting. I feel like the Comfy Gamer kit is going to be a good one for this. This kit has so many items with like fun little patterns. Ooh, these little cushions would be cute too. Also from the Comfy Gamer kit. So that hangout spot is looking cute. I do still have a whole area over here though. And I do still need a dresser. We could add some headphones on here. I would also love to add some of the mannequins in their rooms, just so I could add some of the outfits from the Create Sim video. Okay, fun, but the mannequins will never not creep me out. Maybe they'd be better without faces. Maybe they'd be worse. I will include a microphone for Zoey. And honestly, this DJ table would be a vibe. I think I'll have to move some things around. I'll keep that microphone close by. We'll add the lamp over here. I cannot have the mannequins facing the bed again. I literally just did this in a recent video. Okay, there we go. We've got a fun little music area for Zoey. DJ stand, microphone. These amps act as a stereo as well. I also love seeing these from the outside too. So like this is what her bedroom looks like. We've got the lounge area over here. Love it so far. Let's go do Mira's. And we'll do the ensuite bathrooms together. So Mira is the tough one of the group. She's brutally honest, she's sarcastic and blunt, and she's the group's lead dancer. And her color scheme is going to be pink and black. I mentioned before that Mira is my favorite. Oh, her room is going to be fun. She's got like an alternative style going. And I already know I want to include a dance floor for her, but I don't know if the double checkers will be too much. Maybe we keep the checker dance floor. We'll do a pink round rug similar to Zoey's, and I'll use these lamps from Get Famous. We could have this stereo in the corner, maybe some pictures over top. Some of these cozy kitsch pictures could also work in this room. The mannequins, how do we feel about the mannequins? I need to know. Like on one hand, I love the personal touch that they give, but then I don't know, there's something about them. I'll add mirrors behind here, so if she is practicing her dance, she can see herself in the mirror. This room could also use some neon. I feel like part of the reason why I was so excited to do this build in the first place was because of how colorful and bold the movie was. was. We can add some string lights over here. I'll add a dresser. Oh, and this is also one of the ones with a balcony. I think I'll keep it simple out here. I'll just add like a tree, maybe a couple more of the beanbag chairs, and we can add a record player out here. Why not? And then coming back in here, I feel like I want to add one big stuffed animal, like maybe this one from Life and Death, or even Skelly Bear. Maybe we'll do Skelly Bear in here. If there are any that match, we could get some posters. Maybe we can add some wall decals. I have this corner back here. I could add a bookshelf. Oh, maybe some of the inflatable chairs. And I would not want to cover up this view, but I will add a few curtains here just because she's going to be facing the Saja Boys Tower, and that might be a problem for Mira. Ooh, the black heart-shaped table could be cute. Oh my gosh, not the SpongeBob kits. Those are gonna stay grayed out. I was looking for these headphones, and we'll add a water bottle. And okay, this is our room for Mira. Love that we have the dance floor. We have a little bit of that alternative vibe. And then over here, we've got our bed, we've got a seating area, bookshelf, and I did add a couple decals around the bed as well. Okay, I'm gonna do these bathrooms kind of quickly, just so we can move on from here because we have an entire city to build. And this is what I did for the ensuite bathrooms. This is Zoey's. I ended up decorating with some of these pictures from Get Together. There's a shower in here. They've got the toilet, sink, massive mirror from Get Famous. And then also from Get Famous, I included the jacuzzi tub. This bathroom is big enough we could include it, so I did for both of them. This one is Mira's. We kind of have a similar vibe going. This one, I again included the heart table with some towels on it. We've got the sink and toilet, and then there's a shower over on this side. That's it for this floor. What I did over here is just add like a landing spot, really just a transition room from the next floor. And now that we're upstairs, we can build Rumi's room. That feels weird to say. Rumi is the leader of the group. She's the oldest, she's the lead vocalist, she's also the most determined, dedicated, and ambitious of the group, and she's the most protective. So her main color scheme is purple and yellow. We have some options, like I like this one from Life and Death. I also like this from High School Years, but I think I'm gonna use this other bed later, so let's use this purple one for Rumi. We need a rug underneath. I'll have some tables here. I definitely want to include a microphone in this room as well. I've got this neon mirror in the corner from High School Years, so I'll have a microphone facing the mirror. I feel like some sparkle lights would be pretty in this room. I'm not gonna go overboard, but it's just because I already have that one wallpaper over there. Also, the High School Years lights would look so good over top of the bed. They are crazy bright though. We're just gonna tone those down a little bit. That's a little better. Since she's the leader, she has the biggest bedroom, so we can definitely fit a seating area over here. We need a dresser, and I was thinking about giving Rumi her own secret room. Because of, you know, everything going on with her, I was thinking she might want to have her own room to go and like hide away. So maybe I'll change this archway. We can use the secret sanctuary doors. They look like a bookshelf, but they're actually a door. I also did find some pictures of Rumi. I couldn't find pictures of the other girls, but I added some of those. Ooh, and wait, we also need a pet bed and like pet things for the tiger. Okay, wait. She ends up with this pet tiger and pet bird. Oh my gosh, this is perfect. Okay, that's gonna go right there. And I'll also add some toys here in the corner. Okay, so this is Rumi's room so far. It looks so pretty in here with the lighting. Like the purple lighting always looks so good mixed in with like the warm yellow lighting. Those contrasting colors. But she's got her vanity. We've got the music area. We have a seating area. We have a spot for her cat. But then for her secret room, she will also have an ensuite bathroom in the back. But since she doesn't want to go to the bathhouse, what if we made her own bathhouse? The actual ones from Snowy Escape are way too big. They're not gonna fit in here. We will make a functional one in this city. So what if we gave her a hot tub? I wonder if the in-ground one would be functional up here. Let me test it. Okay, it works. Apparently. It's definitely gonna be going through the floor, but we'll take it. Definitely gonna have to add curtains on this wall, but we'll add this starlight in here, making it super relaxing. Maybe we can add like some speakers in here. We can't really fit too much. Like I think I'm gonna add some plants. I can also add some robes. And yeah, I still want Sims to be able to walk through here, so maybe I'll just add some art. Okay, so she has her own secret bathhouse. And I mean, you can't really tell with the curtains outside. And wait, she almost got away with no mannequins. There we go, I've added the mannequins. I also did go ahead and add this crow from Life and Death to symbolize her other pet. So bedroom's all complete. Hot tub room. I also did the ensuite bathroom. This one is not as extravagant as the other girls because I mean, she has a hot tub. I've done her balcony. I also added a pet bed out here, and I added the laser eye kitty litter thing everything. At least it's self-cleaning. And over to this side, I did add a communal seating room with a TV because we didn't have one of those yet. There's also a communal dance floor in there, and I just needed something to wrap up this floor. The final floor is where we're going to be adding the kitchen and lounge that we see in the movie, and it's actually up on a platform. So I'm gonna build this out basically just so I can raise this up, and that way we can change the flooring too. So we'll have wood down here and we'll have some white marble up top. I'll build a wall separating the kitchen, and then on this side they have like a little walkway where their records are displayed. I'm assuming behind them is like the elevator. So for the record display, I think I want to use these ones from high school years, and I'll just kind of place them on the wall like this. And then for the kitchen, we'll do a double fridge moment like that. I want to have my counters going this way, and I think in the middle they have a double oven. So we'll do 2 ovens like this. We could also add some dishwashers so everything matches. And then I'll use those same island pieces over here. These are just from base game. For some reason they have 4 chairs. I don't know why. Maybe one of them is for Bobby, their manager. We'll add a sink here. For the trash can, we do have the trash chute, so we don't need that. That's actually a requirement. You need that for this lot to function. And for our backsplash, I'm going to use these mirrors from Spa Day. We can add some lighting from the Party Essentials kit. And then coming over this way, I need to add a grand piano. So I think I'll add that facing like this. And then they do have this funky little seating area that has like different flooring. So for that, I'm adding these chairs from Love Struck. We could do a high school years coffee table in the middle. And then this area is actually separated by a shelf, which I'm gonna sort of DIY. First, I'm using these pillars from City Living. Then I'm just gonna take a base game shelf and raise it up. And I'll do that in alternating ways. So this is gonna end up like a mid-century modern inspired shelf. And then we don't have room for much. We can only add like very small things on these shelves, like maybe this nightlight and like a super tiny flower. And then coming over to this side, we need a big sectional from Dream Home Decorator. This is just gonna be a big lounge spot. They can come up here, decompress if possible. I think here I'm gonna add this circle rug from high school years, but I'm gonna change it over so it's rainbow. I'll add some blue beanbag chairs here. Definitely gonna have to move this back. Maybe I can adjust my platform so there's a little more space. But I definitely want to add some pillows on this one, like different colorful pillows, maybe some of them with different patterns on it. And we need a big coffee table in the center. All right, so here we have a lounge inspired by the one we see in the movie. We've got our kitchen. We have a cute little seating spot, the piano. I did add a few things that weren't actually in the room just because I feel like I needed more. It is a very wide open, minimalistic room, but I feel like we pulled this off, and look how cool it looks. Wait, look at this from the outside. How cool does that look? I love those glass walls. That update, adding that glass wallpaper is one thing they did right. It just looks so cool. It's like a mini city in there in itself. Now we can finally start to build the rest of the city. And that's going to be wrapping around like this. We're going to have a few different kinds of buildings here. And I wanted this area to be inspired by the location where they meet up on the rooftops. This is a location that they frequent a lot. And again, it is inspired by a real life village. This is the Bukchon Hanok village in Seoul, South Korea. This is such a beautiful area. I'm excited to try and recreate it in The Sims. South Korea is a place that I would love to visit. So I'm going to do my best here to try and recreate that village. A lot of the roofing styles we see here are tilted out like this. So I'm going to just try and extend those along. And then once I have the general shape, I can just copy and paste the roofing pieces that I've already made. So right now, this is the roofing. I'm going to go in and add some columns. I would love a Korean inspired pack in The Sims 4. That would be iconic, but I am seeing a lot of stone. So I wonder if we could try and use this one from Get Together. And then on some of the buildings, we can change it up with complete stone. Okay, this is turning out so cool already. For some of my doors, I'm going to use these ones from City Living. And then maybe for an older type of door, we could use this one from Cottage Living. Around the landscaping, I'm going to use this base game fence. My game is slowing down a little bit. We already have a lot happening here. Oh, maybe this base game fence could work here. For windows, I might actually try these from Cottage Living as well. There are different shutter options we could add too. And then from Snowy Escape, I'm going to add in these awnings over top of some of the windows. Okay, do we see the vision? This is coming along so nicely. I'm going to do some of the landscaping and then we can furnish some of these buildings. All right, so there's our village. I debated adding some of the signage. Like I added some of these lights here and I added some billboards. I know they're not actually in the village that we're referencing, But I think at nighttime it's gonna look really cool. Plus with like the city in the background, I feel like it's just gonna make a little bit more sense with all those lights and billboards. And then one thing I've been dying to add before we do any of these, those spotlights from Get Famous. These are gonna make all the difference. I'm gonna try and just like hide them as well as I can. For like a giant spotlight, I guess I could put them like back behind here. No one's gonna know. And then let's turn them on. Oh my gosh, this is everything. I'm obsessed already. Okay, let's start furnishing one of the buildings. So starting all the way over to this side, we never did include a gym in the tower. So we definitely have to include one here. And no, I don't think that these superstar pop star demon hunters would be sharing a public gym. However, that's why we can lock the doors. I'll add one of the big gym mats. Definitely gonna need some punching bags. We can add some big mirrors behind too so they can watch their technique. Actually, I'm gonna move these over so I can fit one more machine. Like this one can go right here. I also have to stock them up with some weapons. They're gonna need to train somehow. So we'll have those in the corner. And maybe we'll also add some light strips in here from high school years. I'll add some of the heart tables. Those are so cute. I can't stop using them. I'll add some like water bottle clutter in here. We can add a speaker. And like, do I add an invisible dance floor under this rug? I feel like it would be kind of annoying, like Sims might get in the way, but it is a good workout. I'm again just gonna add some curtains here because they're supposed to be doing this in secret. So now they have a little privacy. So this is our K-pop Demon Hunters gym in The Sims 4. Punching bags, they've got a couple different machines to use, the TVs. Next, I wanna go and do the bathhouse. I'm gonna split this here so that I can add a couple bathrooms on the side. It just makes sense for a bathhouse. I guess the gym probably should have had one too, but at least they're nice and close to the tower. So I'll just do a couple bathrooms here. The packs that I'll probably use with this are gonna be Snowy Escape and Spa Day. So I'll add a toilet in this one. This one's a smaller bathroom, so we're probably just gonna have a toilet and sink. They would also have robes in here. I guess I do have room for a wall shower on this wall, although I am gonna add showers into the actual bathhouse. And Snowy Escape is the pack that comes with the massive bath. There are two different ones. There's this one and like an outdoor stone one. I'm gonna try this one today. We can line this wall here with showers, and they also have these dividers, which are perfect. I'm gonna say you probably wouldn't have a window here, but that wall needed something. This way I could also add in some of these waterfalls on the side. These are from Spa Day. And then we can also add a bench. I'll add a few more robes, maybe a little Spa Day sign over here, and I'll use a Spa Day chandelier on top of the bath. This is a very fancy bathhouse. But there we go. That is the bathhouse in our city. Tons of space in here. So many Sims could be in this bathtub at once. We've got a couple bathrooms there, and I feel like you could go in if you have for rent or businesses and hobbies and like change these so they're all different businesses. Like you could just change over some of the areas to like residential or public or whatever. This one is going to be a restaurant. One thing about the Demon Hunters, they love to eat. So I knew I wanted to include a restaurant. I'm gonna add this bar back over here in the corner. I feel like this is actually gonna end up being more like a bar, but you can order food at the bar, and this is giving daytime bar anyway. Like that sounds really bad. It's giving lunchtime. Like you might come here and have a drink, but you're probably also gonna get food. And how cute is this little place? Okay, so this is going to be our little restaurant slash bar. We have one more building to go on this strip. I'm still gonna build another one, but I wanted to include Bobb'ys House. Bobby is the manager of Huntrix. He is always there for them. He's always trying his best to stay on top of things. When I posted my Create a Sim video, I asked you guys what you wanted to see, and some people said to include a house for Bobby. So I feel like Bobby's room would be like a little bit generic. Like we could use this bed. Maybe there's like a little rug underneath. I'll add in some end tables, but I definitely want to include a workspace. That can be over here. And I just want like all the cork boards, all the calendars, anything he needs to stay on top of things. He needs the computer. I love this board from Snowy Escape. I'm gonna add one here. Just like a nice little setup. Oh, this is cute too, like the little organization box. Okay, that little office space is adorable. I'll add a trash can right here. And then since this is a smaller house, I do need to include the kitchen over here. There's not gonna be a designated room for it, so I'm gonna keep it small. I'll just add a mini fridge with a counter. Then we could do a dishwasher here, and we can also have the tabletop oven. So we've got a room for prep, dishwasher, fridge, and mini oven. Now all we need is a dresser. It's gonna have to be a really small one from Tiny Living, I guess. And then for the bathroom, again, I'm gonna keep it pretty generic. I also do feel like he's a little bit of a fangirl, so we can add some posters in here too. I'm also gonna add a bookshelf, and I'll add a small dining table. Okay, so this is Bobb'ys house. It's so cute. I like that it's a close distance away away from the girls. He can get there really quickly if he has to. Definitely can manage everything going on from here. And I really do like this little desk area. Okay, this is our first strip complete. I'm gonna do one more of these. It's gonna go down like the middle here. And since I'm gonna be building them in the same way that I already did, I'm just gonna do these and then I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so here we have the secondary section of this village. Like I said, I basically did everything in the same way, but I did add a sign right here. And this is where we're gonna have the fan meetup. Also, look at this, wait, look at this walkway so far, how gorge. So for the fan meet and greet room, I'm gonna add these purple curtains in the background. And then for each of them, I'm gonna add a desk. So there are 3 members in Huntrix, and then we need 5 for the Saja boys. And then I wanna get them each their own colored chairs. I guarantee we won't have purple. Yup, Rumi is just gonna have to have yellow. I want the Saja boys to each have their own color too. Perfect. And then in this room, you would probably also have video cameras. I'm gonna add these from Get Famous. Maybe you would have some TV screens as well, playing like music in the background, music videos. There would probably also be posters everywhere. And wait, this one, okay, it's not exact, but I feel like this reminds me of the actual Saja Boys logo. So we have a few posters here. And then since it is a meetup and we're gonna have so many people in here, we need to have some organization. So I'm gonna add these onto the floor. These are pool lights from Spa Day. And it would be like, you have to wait here until it's your turn. I actually don't know. I've never been to one of these, but like that makes sense to me. And then on each of them, I want to add little things for them, like little water bottles, maybe like some little cameras, books to sign, stickers to give away, like anything. And same for the boys. They're all gonna have their own water bottles. They'll probably have some like flowers on here, the notepad for signing. So this is our fan meetup room. This is so funny because this is gonna be the most random, most unfunctional room in The Sims 4. Like we can't actually do this. I mean, you could put a bunch of Sims in here and get them to ask for autographs, like all the famous Sims in one bubble. Maybe you could do a fan meetup actually. All right, we have one more building to go in our city before we move on to the Saja Boys Tower. And I'm gonna keep it really simple. We are going to be doing a photography room. This is where we can do photo shoots. I'll add some of the backdrops. This stuff comes with the Sims 4 Moschino. Like it comes with a wardrobe. There's other camera equipment, and you can even have your subject mark. So you can add these and your Sims will go and stand there, hopefully. I'm just gonna add some lights in here. I also changed the lighting over to pink. I think I'll also add some seating in here just in case you're like waiting to get your picture taken. Oh, and also we're gonna need some black curtains. Definitely gonna need black curtains for this room. Okay, perfect. There's our photography studio. This lot has it all. Like I feel like you could get famous here without even leaving the lot. And for a 40 by 30 lot, like this isn't even that big. But there's our photography studio. How cute. I like that little rug. And with that, we're finally ready to go build a tower for the Saja boys. That is just gonna have to be in this area to the left. I don't have as much room to make it as big as this one, but here's my plan. At the end of the movie, there's a big performance and battle at the Namsan Seoul Tower. They have a massive pentagon-shaped stadium here, but in reality, this tower doesn't actually have that stadium. So what I want to try and do is build the tower, although I already know it will not be perfect because I can't make it big enough, like tall enough. We only have 4 floors that we can build up on in The Sims 4, but I was thinking that we could build each of their bedrooms in this tower. Okay, this might look crazy for a sec. Wait, I need to add the glass wallpaper. I need to add one more floor. And yeah, see, like unless I just did this one like that, then maybe we could get away with it a little more, but I need to fit 5 bedrooms in here and this is maybe enough room for like 2. So for now, we're gonna have to go with this. We might even have to add another one. But for the roofing, I'm gonna take a rounded roof piece and bring that over. I'll lower it down and we'll raise it out. And then for the point, I'm gonna use this from Strangerville and I'm just gonna size it up. I mean, it kind of works. Again, I'm worried about spacing though, so I am just going to replace this bottom floor. And now we have completely lost the plot, but you know what? It does still look cool. Okay, so this is the exterior all complete. This is actually insane. I can't believe I pulled this off from like every angle, especially way up here on this penthouse lot. It looks so cool. Like, look at it, an entire city just hanging out up here. Obviously, I finished the landscaping over near the tower, and here's what I did. Instead of building a stadium, because obviously I don't have the room for that, I just did this really cute seating area, but in the corners I added the busking stations from City Living. That way Sims could actually perform here, not on a worldwide scale, but it can be just a cute little spot to listen to music. Plus there's a fountain. Okay, Okay, in the final part of this video, we have to furnish the tower, and I'm just gonna focus on the bedrooms for the Saja boys. I already did their rest of the house, which I will admit is very tiny in comparison to the Huntrix tower. They have a living room in here. I added these chairs from high school years because they look like they have the demon marks on them. They have a tiny kitchen, dishwasher, oven, mini fridge. Up here, they have a tiny little living room. There's like a couple TVs over here, a microphone. Again, really not much happening, but I couldn't fit everything. And over to this corner, they've got their bathroom. But we are gonna do the bedrooms, and we're gonna start with this one. This one is gonna be for Mystery. Mystery is reserved. He's very stoic, and you can rarely see his emotions because of his hair. This is where I wanted to use that high school years bed. I feel like this just reminds me of him. His color palette is purple, yellow, and blue, and he has like little stars on his vest, so I think I want to include a couple of those from the movie Hangout stuff back. I'm gonna add a bookshelf in the corner. I'm gonna add a chair for reading. What I love about this movie too is that the boys are just as colorful, if not more colorful and like bold in style than the girls. I think I'll add a dresser in this corner. Each of them will also have a microphone. Maybe we can have like a little desk with a purple hair dryer on it and maybe some combs. That hair is just silly. And then maybe because of the twinkles on his shirt, I'll add some of the Love Struck lights. And wait, this big question mark picture, I don't think I've ever used this in my life. That's gonna go over top of the bed. Okay, that's funny. This is gonna be Mystery's room. That question mark above the bed is everything. Moving on, we have two up on this floor. I feel like you can tell because I already picked the wallpaper and flooring, but this one is gonna be for Romance. And you guessed it, Romance is the most romantic of the group. He's very flirty and very charming. He's getting a heart-shaped bed, like obviously, with the hearts and everything. I think he can actually use his power to conjure up hearts, like out of thin air. So we definitely need those. We definitely need the heart tables, maybe some candles here too. I think we need a yellow high school years mirror. City Living also has some rose petals we could add. We can add some of the Love Struck chairs. Wait, do we add the lip couch? I think we have to. This is ridiculous. So over the top. I'm not gonna add these all the way around because they're probably gonna glitch. Actually, maybe. Wait, it kind of looks pretty like this too. Again, just like so jokes. Like, what do you mean? I feel like we need maybe some greenery in this room. We could also add the little heart stuffed animal on the chair. These can be like to give out to fans. And I'll also add some flowers around just for the same reason. Okay, there's our room for Romance. On the flip side, we're gonna be doing this one for Abby. I tried to match the wallpaper to his shirt, but Abby is the main dancer. They're strong and confident. They're definitely the most fit, but he can be vain and aggressive. So I feel like my bed has to be yellow. I'm gonna use this one from Horse Ranch. I definitely want gym equipment in here, so I'm gonna add a punching bag. We could add like a soccer ball. We definitely need a stand-up mirror, and this is where it would be perfect to find a picture of him. Is there one on here? Oh my gosh, yes, I found one. Okay, we're downloading this. Oh god, where are we gonna put it? Right here, I guess. And we'll grab a couple pictures of him. I'll put it right when you come up the ladder. Perfect. There's also some pictures of Romance too, so I'm gonna add those into his bedroom. Would also love to fit a dance floor in here, so I think I'm gonna use this and shrink it. I think Sims will still understand you can dance over there. I'll add a speaker in here. We could also do another one in this corner. And you know what? I'm gonna change this light. We're gonna change that over to a disco ball. Oh wait, also we could use the weights. I forgot about these. Yeah, I'll move the beanbag chairs over and then we can fit the weights over here. So that can be Abby's room. Again, they look so cool from the outside. Next up will be for Baby, who is the youngest of the group, but they are the main rapper. They totally play up the baby image. They appear childlike on stage, but they definitely use this persona to manipulate others. So like, do I add a cradle? This one's weird to me. I don't like them. But when I was doing some research on this, apparently each of them represents a different issue that's already present in real life K-pop culture, which is interesting. But again, I still don't love Baby. I do like the color scheme though, all the pastels. Do we give Baby a DJ booth? I feel like it'd be way too big. Yeah, we can't do it. So instead, I'm gonna add a couch. I'll add one of the creepy toys in here. Oh, we could do a stuffed animal on the couch. This is from the storybook kit. And like a bassinet, I guess. I don't love it, but this room is actually turning out pretty cute. I'm not gonna lie. We could use like these big house lights from Enchanted by Nature. Okay, there we go. This is Baby's room. We have a toy box. We have a microphone, some toys hanging out on the couch. Here it is from the outside. And finally, finally, we have a room for Jinu. Jinu is the leader of Saja Boys. He's the main vocalist, and he was once a human who sold his soul for fame. So I think for this one, I'm gonna use this bed. We can do a black rug underneath. Maybe I'll go all black with the wallpaper. I do have a picture of him. I feel like I want to put that in here somewhere. I'll add a dresser, maybe with a speaker on it. I'm tempted to also add the pet bed in here, like, and the crow, although they don't really live here anymore. On this dresser, we could also add a bunch of trophies. Do we have any soda or like pop cans? Oh yeah, we do. Okay. I'm definitely gonna raise a couple of these up and put them on this dresser as well. Maybe some on the end tables. A lot of people were asking me who my favorite was in my Create a Sim video, and it's Jinu, obviously. I just need one more thing to put over to the left. They all got a microphone, so obviously we need one here too. I'm gonna add some speakers, and all right, there we go. There is our bedroom inspired by Jinu. Let me know which room was your favorite, which building. This is absolutely insane. As you can imagine, this took literally so many hours. So if you guys like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know any video ideas you want to see me do in the comment section down below. And thanks again to Holzkern for sponsoring this video. Again, you can check out the link in the description and use code sydneymac at checkout to get an exclusive 15% off all purchases site-wide for the holiday season. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.